Onivia, League of Legends highlights.
And you could have just taken the Silas pick to say, I want to deal with this Gnar and have better setups, but hard to hit a Zeri with that, right? And ultimately, you've picked something that gives you a lot more power in terms of damage. It's one of those very rare moments where we actually have to like really think about how much value Doran's Ring gets and how many autos he can. Trying to rush this one down here. Zeka.
This is Hanwha Life with Kassadin and Zeri trying to force this first straight fight. I am not sure about this one. Has a massive knockup into the Viego plus ultimate as Clid will flash away. Viper gonna proc the ultimate here. As in they go, lots of damage already onto this Nongshim comp as they're just trying to get away. As Zeka now even forced a flash, but they are still going in on the fight. First blood to the Gnar as Dundun incredibly strong, but eventually will be taken out.
Yeah, the setup there was really nice for Nongshim to try to hold on to this, but you could chase infinitely even though Viper's ult wasn't great. Viego is like happy.
That's exactly what we were talking about, the win more, as now, speaking of which, Zeka in a bit of trouble. The flash over from Sylvie means that he is going to collect it, as this is 5 members of Nongshim to take the trade. And they have vision of Clid. The one control ward, and Clid is like, you know what? Never mind, you guys can have it, as it's Ocean Soul. At the end of the day, he doesn't get really anything for it except a health bar.
Kingen is smashing this lane. He's 2 levels up, has his cleaver, his color. Straight up. Now Kingen has Narbar. Do you have enough damage to win this fight with a Kassadin on 2 rod stacks? A full tier, sure, but no real damage. Look at the angle that Dundun's got here to block them out on the rotation.
They're trying to get in here. Okay, here comes Clid. They do spot him, though, of course, as in he goes, and that will go to the Wukong pretty simply.
A little bit late on the play.
It is Dundun, so it's like kind of okay, but at the same time, pretty interesting.
Whenever it's up, hasn't been able to make any proactive plays with ES Scion, to be fair, but this means that with no TP for Fiesta since he took Ghost, there's always traps potentially being set.
Uh-oh, Fiesta, he was doing so well until he wasn't. They're trying to collapse on this brush because Sylvie is here, and he baits himself in. Clid, he is quite fed in this one. He's 2-0. He's been farming it out pretty well as well. But again, you know, like, this is Viego in the jungle.
We have those ultimates, stacking those up, and look at the angle here for Kingen. Narbar nearly at the ready.
He had this angle with Camille in the first game, and they are going to check their flanks this time. They see
look at him go.
As well. The Drake is going to reset, and here comes Mega Gnar. In they go. He only gets Rakan, though, as in we go into the bouncy castle as the Scion gets a massive knockup into Lulu. Nongshim have found the angle as they just dove headfirst into a 3-foot deep pool. It's not what you want to do.
That was about as hard forced as it gets. As, yeah, you have a...
Yeah. There's still a high amount of burst damage potential with Xayah Victor, right? As Kingen is in no man's land, he is also mini Gnar. He is also going to use his stopwatch, even though it's 1v2. I suppose trying to buy time for his team to do Baron. If that was the case, then...
They're starting this now. They're going to force that TP. Kingen's Narbar already exposed, and that's what pulls the trigger for them. I think they're like, all right, Kingen can't Gnar, so let's do this.
Okay, Zeka going to TP back into the fight. Feels a little bit late to steal. He's going to try anyway, and immediately Clid has a hard break out of there. As Zeka, he's in the fight, but
here, and Kassadin doesn't win by default. You still have to have some element of control in these team fights.
Mega Gnar for Kingen again. Unfortunate timing. Now Dundun, can he get away from the Kassadin? Looks like yes, because everybody's in the pit to support. Nongshim kind of in an awkward spot, though. You see they're kind of tethering off as the rest of the team is out of the pit, but Zeka just going to poke them down casually before the fight even begins.
Zeka's angle's really good. It's really hard to lock him down right now.
Nongshim are taking way too much free damage, but Kingen nearly dies to the Victor as he's trying to get into Mega Gnar, but he's almost going to die. He's trying to run away from the Chaos Storm. It looks like he will, but man, these fights are just on a nice edge as that one goes to that, and a massive Mega in the backside. Kingen finally gets it done, and they take down the Xayah. That's exactly what Hanwha Life Esports needed to do. As finally now they are trying to get the rest of the members. Sylvie just trying to buy time, trying to pull them away from mid. And he will buy a lot of time. Can Hanwha Life Esports end from here looks unlikely, but it's still a massive victory in the team fight for them.
Yeah, 4,000 lane. That inner is almost dead. This one not long for this world with a Zeri here. Bam. Down it goes. And topside King can just push freely. That was a really good call from King, and he backs out, gets his Narbar, and knows that he has Flash engaged with the GA, so he could sacrifice himself to get on top of the Xayah. And even with Sylvie trying his best to peel on the Wukong, it unfortunately isn't enough.
A huge spike because the cooldown on your R is just so low. As he's trying to get into the backline now, see what he can do. Also, an insane amount of poke goes into the Zhonya's. They're trying to just burst him down, but that's not enough. A ton of Xayah damage on the King, though, as that is going to be the kill. Onto Vital, first kill in this fight as the kiting back. This time, from the Nongshim AD carry is good enough. Viper's trying to do his part, but can't chip through the damage of Dundun. As down goes Viper, super low. He's able to kite it back as Indusek as well. They can't take down Viper either. And the kite back is good enough. And finally, the cleanup comes in from Hanwha Esports. Dundun, the last one to survive.
Viper is insane. That engage from Peter was so clean, and Viper just dodges it perfectly. That was beautiful. I love watching that. Zeri player, one chance you have as Nongshim to lock him down and kill him. Peter sees the angle. The Viper saw it first, man. That's...
Saw the lines.
I mean, this guy is insane with his positioning. I think it's hard to say that he's not the best positioning AD carry we have in the LCK right now. Like, he just will not be caught. He will not be punished.
So slippery on the Zeri. That's going to do it, guys. Game number 2 also into the hands of Hanwha Esports. They get it done. They scale up with the Kassadin and the Zeri. And Nongshim, you know, they put up a good fight. Props to them. Very nice try, especially in some of those later game team fights. Vital this time around.